Suddenly, Fox News cares about gun violence. I guess it is important when it's not blacks killing each other.
With the tragic details, at least 32 people are dead, including the gunman, 28 wounded, 4 are in critical condition as gunfire fills the air at Virginia Tech University in what is now easily the deadliest mass shooting in American history. President Bush will be addressing the nation on this tragedy in just a couple of minutes. Virginia Tech also expected to hold a news conference this hour. We will bring, of course, that to you live. With us now, Molly Henneberg in Blacksburg, Virginia, with the latest. Molly, what can you tell us?
Hi, Neil. This is the setting where the news conference is going to be in about 30 minutes here at Virginia Tech. It will be their second one of the day. In the first news conference, the president of the university said this was a heinous crime, heinous act that has shocked this university. Virginia Tech is a large university with about 26,000 students. Today, the unbelievable happened when at least 32 people were killed today, 31 victims, and then the shooter, who at this point has been unidentified. We hope to find out some more information when that. We know the local hospital here, Montgomery County Hospital, Regional Hospital, 17 patients were taken there for gunshot wounds and other wounds. At least 4 of those are in surgery right now. Other patients were taken to hospitals in Roanoke and elsewhere. There was the first shooting at 7:30 this morning, apparently in a dorm room. Then we believe it was the same shooter who then, a couple hours later, went to an engineering building where engineering classes were going on and killed the majority of students there. This community is in shock. Students said they have a lot of questions about how this happened and how the gunman wasn't caught after the first shooting and was allowed to then come back into the engineering building and to kill more students. There are stories of students jumping out of second and fourth floor windows to try and get away from this gunman today as he was going apparently from classroom to classroom shooting students. Today, this university is in shock, and we hope to hear more from the university president and other officials coming up in a half an hour. Neil? All right,
Molly, and that's what's happening on the left side of your screen there. You're looking at a podium shot of the diplomatic room in the White House where President Bush is due to address the nation any second now to respond to this. It was 8 years ago this month that his predecessor, Bill Clinton, had to respond to the Columbine tragedy. Back then, we were talking about 15 people who died, including the 2 killers who took their own lives. Now a president revisiting tragedy that dramatically leaps on that. At least 32 are known dead, including the shooter. But we are waiting to hear from the president. Molly, do we know whether local officials then, as you said, are going to be involved in this along with school officials?
I'm sorry, Neil, repeat the question.
Local officials as well, besides school officials in this presser in the half hour?
We're not quite sure yet who exactly will be at the podium in 30 minutes. You would imagine that local officials would be here as well, talking about the response and trying to give some comfort to parents who are very worried about their students. And two parents, if you're
all right, Molly,
the president speaking, we'll finish that thought later.
Indeed, the president.
I get the feeling they were more concerned with giving Bush a photo op so he could boost his ratings. Let's hear what the idiot had to say about it.
Our nation is shocked and saddened by the news of the shootings at Virginia Tech today. The exact toll has not yet been confirmed, but it appears that more than 30 people were killed and many more were wounded. I've spoken with Governor Tim Kaine and Virginia Tech President Charles Steger. I told them that Laura and I and many across our nation are praying for the victims and their families and all the members of the university community who have been devastated by this terrible tragedy. I told them that my administration would do everything possible to assist with the investigation, and that I pledged that we would stand ready to help local law enforcement and the local community in any way we can during this time of sorrow. Schools should be places of safety and sanctuary and learning. When that sanctuary is violated, the impact is felt in every American classroom and every American community. Today, our nation grieves with those who have lost loved ones at Virginia Tech. We hold the victims in our hearts. We lift them up in our prayers. And we ask a loving God to comfort those who are suffering today. Thank you.
Gee, that really helped the situation. I love the way he made sure to play on the God issue.